The number of opioids prescribed has increased by 300% between the year of 1999 and 2010. In addition, the death rate increased from 4,000 to 16,660 people. One of the most leading causes of death in the United States today is overdose on drugs. Even more surprisingly, 2.4 million people were classified as opioid users in the year of 2010. Most people have broken a bone or possibly had their tonsils removed throughout their life. For this reason, many people have been prescribed a pain medication, whether it be one slightly stronger than an over-the-counter painkiller, Motrin 800, or one that's severely stronger than an over-the-counter painkiller, Norco 10325s. As a licensed pharmacy tech, I see these prescriptions every single day. I fill these prescriptions every single day. Many people come in and say, oh, well, I had, my toenail removed, and I was just in really severe pain, so my doctor prescribed me morphine. In my opinion, nobody needs morphine to deal with the pain of an ingrown toenail. But nevertheless, we check the patient's history, and as long as they haven't been receiving these medications from elsewhere in the same amount of time frame, we fill their prescription no matter our hesitations. The purpose of my speech is to inform my audience of the dangerous amount of controlled substances that are prescribed daily. Throughout this speech, I'm going to tell you about controlled substances, their uses, which ones are most commonly prescribed, and also which ones are most commonly abused. The definition of a controlled substance as defined by the Controlled Substance Act is a drug which is regulated in some manner under existing federal laws and placed into one of 5 schedules. 3 things are taken into consideration as a drug is placed into its schedule: its medical use, its potential for abuse, and also its safety, dependence, liability. In addition to being placed in one of the 5 schedules, drugs are also placed into one of the 5 less specific categories. These categories include narcotics, depressants, stimulants, hallucinogens, and cannabis. They are rated from 1 to 5, 1 being not so easily addictive and a 5 being very easily addictive, and they are also placed in another category by their use. For example, a drug being used as a sedative. A very good example to use would be Lortab. It's well known to many people, but its generic name, also known as hydrocodone and acetaminophen. This drug is placed under its category as a 2. The schedule is a 2 because it is very highly addictive. It is also placed in the category of a narcotic because it is used as a pain medicine for moderate to severe pain. In 2015, the number 1 drug that was most commonly prescribed and abused, ranking at $2.23 billion, was methylphenidate. As a pharmacy tech, I come into work at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I don't leave until about 7 o'clock at night. That's about 3.5 hours, maybe 4 hours that I work total. And on a slow day, I fill about 10 to 15 prescriptions for controlled substances. Many people are very, very, very specific in wanting that certain one actually. Many of people's friends do a courtesy of, oh, let me hand you my old pain medicine since you're having trouble with your back. Let me hand you my old pain medicine since you accidentally rolled your ankle. Different strengths are too strong for different people's bodies. This is why they're a prescribed drug for a certain person. Many people don't realize this. People take the medicine and then it causes the pleasurable increase in their brain, which is the dopamine, and as this happens, people get addicted. In conclusion, I have informed my audience of controlled substances and how they are abused. I have also conveyed how it is placed into categories, which ones are commonly abused, and which ones are commonly prescribed. I felt qualified to talk about this topic because I am a licensed pharmacy tech and I've worked at a pharmacy for over a year now. Next time you go to the hospital, take into consideration your actual pain level or anxiety level or stress level. If you are getting prescriptions that you are not needed or handing off prescriptions that are not needed to other people, you could be feeding someone else's addiction, or worse, you could be feeding your addiction.